The irony that I went to the place that I was a prisoner for 8 years in order to get rid of the very man that put me there. But it all worked. Hieronymus Lex is gone from the Imperial City and is not surrounded by so many guards like he used to be. Not only that, but he doesn't command the power of the Imperial Guards anymore. He's just another city guard now, away from the main Thieves Guild operation and the Imperial City. Well, it's no great victory, but it's one step closer towards it. Now that he doesn't have the power he used to command and is more isolated, it should make it easier to kill him. If I can manage it. I have to be very careful, though. I refuse to repeat the mistakes I made the last time. So I will watch him in Anvil and see what he does, where he goes, and where and when I can kill him and get away with it. This might take some time, but the payoff will be well worth it, to get justice for my sister's murder and my own prison time. Vilja has been quiet about all this, but I have been telling her why I am doing it. She seems to understand without questioning me. I am helping her with her sister, and she is helping me with justice for mine. This seems like a good fit to me. But as for the Dark Brother assassination I am about to perform, if I can, well, she has said a few things to discourage me. She obviously doesn't like them, and for that matter, neither do I. A Daedric cult of assassins? Sounds dangerous, even like a fair bit of madness to me. But I have gone over why I am doing what I am doing, and yes, it's for power. I don't normally condone a cult of assassins, however. If I can gain septums and power out of joining them, and I won't get caught, then I think why not? But like I said, I am not going to give my soul to Sithis or whatever these maniacs do. I am, of course, also quite curious about them. It seems strange that these people are even able to get away with these assassinations. However, it's not a good time for enforcing the law when the land is being ravaged by Oblivion Gates. Just like Umaril, the Unfeathered returning now during the chaos, it is perhaps a good time to join a group like the Dark Brotherhood. And if I really don't like it, this Grand Champion of the arena will simply destroy them. So, I'm going into the door. Through the door of the Inn of Ill Omen. My quarry is here. Now, what was the name of him? Rufio. Who has a name like Rufio?
Well, well, who might you be?
Hello?
Hello, stranger. We don't get many visitors around here. Makes things pretty lonely for me, if you know what I mean.
What can you tell me about this inn?
The only people that stay here are stragglers on the Green Road. Me, I got no place else to be. Besides, I think Mannheim is sweet on me.
The owner? Do you happen to know who Rufio is?
Not a lot to tell. He doesn't much like company, and spends most of his time in his room. Mannheim thinks he's hiding out from someone.
Oh, maybe he is. Heard any good rumors lately?
My favorite town? Anvil. Lovely old stone buildings, and the harbor at sunset is beautiful.
Oh, I can't disagree with that. Mine is Coral.
Bye now, sweetie. I look forward to seeing you again.
Everywhere dot.
Vilja. Well, this must be Mannheim. It's a very small place. What? There's no one here. Why? How could anybody spend all day in this little hole anyway? There is no Rufio. Maybe we'll have to... What's with these rats? This is disgusting. Maybe we'll wait till nighttime. I don't understand why the owner's sleeping. There's a trap door down here. If they mind if I go down here. Oh. Are these part of the, is this part of the inn as well? This could be Rufio. Just hold on. I don't know if this is Rufio. Those stuck doors. Well, this is not that bad of a place to stay. Rufio is the only other person here that I take. I take it must be him. Come on, Wolfgang. We're going to kill them. The man named Rufio is dead. Next time I sleep in a location he deems secure, Lucien Lachance will visit me once more and complete my entrance into the Dark Brotherhood. That's it.
What makes this smell?
You have nothing else on you? Oh, was he ever poor? Maybe he was spending his last days here. Time to go.
Why are you...
Mount up, please. Alright. Oh, nobody witnessed that, although if somebody asks, they'll describe what I look like. The innkeeper didn't see, just that woman. The Redguard woman. Okay, so we have to go west to Skingrad. Well, we need to waste time, right? 11 hours... 10 and a half hours from now, we'll be meeting the Count, so we might as well just take our horses. Go there. We'll take the road. It'll be a bit of a trip. Well, might as well. Pick mushrooms, found nothing. I'm after the summer bullet. I got one. I thought I saw more over here, yeah. They're all over the Great Forest area. How many do I have in total? 3. Need 7 more. I don't see any more around. But we can look through the forest on the way. I don't really think that they're around where Skingrad is. And I don't really think they're around water. They're more like in the forest. Let's see, another one. Whoa. Is that a Daedroth just wandering the forest? Nothing of use. I got another one, so 4. That Daedroth is kind of close. Take that. Oh, I have to remember I don't have my... Whoa, not good. I don't even have my weapons. I don't even have my shield on me. Hey! Easy. Mount up again. Doing just fine, Vilja. Happy I'm getting a lot of things done. I don't think this is the way I want to go. This is going to a place called White Rose Farm.
You can't be too careful out in the wind. You're a dangerous bastard, aren't you?
Are you fighting? What were you fighting, Vilja? Weird. Okay, so I have 5. I think I have 5 or 6 now. Just 5. Well, I'll keep dismounting when I see these things as we go.
How do you do?
But we're making our way to Skingrad. I only need 1 more. I think. Yes, I have all 10.
You wanted to talk to me?
Here you go.
Oh, you have found 10 summer bullet caps for me. That's great. Thank you ever so much.
You're welcome.
But I could surely use more help.
Sure,
If you
of
don't
course.
mind, that is. You see, I also need 10 ginkgo leaves. If you could collect those for me, it would be very helpful.
Aren't those in the Gold Coast region? Sure if I have one on me. I have ginseng. Ginkgo leaves. Okay. Well, we have the mushrooms. Let's continue on to Skingrad. What time is it? The shop is closed. Well, we missed that. So it's occurred to me on the ride over here that ginkgo leaves are from Hammerfell, primarily. Although I have heard that there are a few trees, and they're very hard to find, here in Cyrodiil. Ginkgo trees. The easiest way to get ginkgo leaves would be to go to an alchemist. Or alchemy merchant. Alright. So I guess we're just here to wait. I've got to wait. 5.5 hours. Ginkgo leaves, huh? Alright, so I'm going to put on my armor because I don't know what's... I just have a bad feeling. There. Now I don't move as fast. So he wants me to meet me out by the farms, huh? In this area. Don't be late? Well, what if I'm over 5 hours early? I don't know what we're going to do. As long as it doesn't start raining, I'm fine. Let's just wait. Well, it's almost 2 a.m. Oh, who's this? They look like necromancers. Who are you? What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you mean, what do I want? What are you doing here?
Well, well. You're early, mage.
You're his
I'm
steward.
afraid I misled you. The Count won't be arriving. In fact, he doesn't even know you're here. We're not about to let the Guild interfere with our plans, for the Count or otherwise. So, you'll have to die. Don't worry. We'll put your body to good use, I assure you.
Yeah, I don't think so. Everybody summon something. Zombies, Daedra. There's a lot more of them than I thought there would be. Fine. I can blast you too. Who's that? The Count's here. The Count's here.
You will be so dead.
You impossible fool. What possessed you to think I would suggest a meeting here, of all places?
I don't know, you're a vampire. It
At
makes
least your
sense to me.
gullibility served some useful purpose. I knew about Mercator, but not his friends. Now none of them are a threat any longer.
Yeah, your eyes really show up. I guess you haven't fed for a while. There's a bunch of bodies here you can now feed upon. So, why was Mercator a threat?
Do you not recognize a necromancer when you
course I
see
do.
one? I suspected Mercator was involved in their cult, but was unwilling to move against him without knowing the identities of his allies.
You really are a strange vampire if you're siding against necromancers. Okay, maybe you're the kind of vampire I wouldn't mind having around, as I kind of thought. So, go on.
Despite what your council may think, I've not thrown in with the necromancers and would never do so. You may pass along that message.
So, I was only here for a book.
Is that so? Perhaps your council has not been entirely honest with you.
Yeah.
Do you really believe they sent you here for a book?
Well, it did seem
No,
like a simple
they
task.
sent you here to spy on me. They've heard the same rumors I have about the necromancer's cult.
Go on.
Tell your council that the next time they want something from me, they come themselves. They don't send someone under false pretenses.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yes, I see that now. I regret that Traven has involved you in this way. At least you've survived. For now. Perhaps in the future you can be trusted enough to deal with more serious matters. Now our business here is concluded. I suggest you return to your council.
Well, I did try to save your wife. I would have thought he trusted me. And I had another dealing with him at another time, so I would have thought he trusted me by now. Just gonna leave these bodies, are you? Daedric Arrow? That's obviously from Vilja. Where's Mercator? There he is. Blackberry. Well, I don't want to take these keys. In fact, I have some keys to offload. So maybe somebody who comes across a whole pile of keys will be a little confused, but I only need so many keys, right? So, where are all my keys? Every time I look for them, I cannot find them. And when I'm not looking for them, they're right there. I had a whole pile of keys. I don't know how I do it then. I don't know where the keys go. Alright, so we have that. I guess we're supposed to return to the Mages Guild. I don't know what else I'm going to do at this time. I guess I need to go speak to Raminus Polus. But for that, we're going to go and sleep in Skingrad, and then we'll go look to see if the alchemy merchant has your Ginkgo Leaves.
Do you need something?
Are there people in the room that's supposed to be mine? What were you guys doing in there?
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Farewell.
Ugh, some orc is staying in here. Guess we're sharing a bed, Vilja. This is the same last...
Well met.
I bought a good number of
'Kay.
things at Colovian
Out!
Trader. State your business.
What are you doing in my room, you fool? Get out! Hey, wait, have you heard about Hieronymus Lex?
He's our new captain. I've never met a finer man.
Well, he's supposed to go to Anvil, not, Skingrad, so you're...
Colovian
You must have
traders
misheard.
is a
Anyways, get out.
Perhaps
Get
I'll
out.
visit Gunda soon. Goodbye.
Out of my room.
Good day.
You haven't
Yeah, I don't have your ingredients yet, Vilja, okay?
thought
Just
later.
let me
Do
close
you
the
know
door.
what happened to Mercator Hasador?
Alright,
I haven't seen him
let's
at the
sleep.
council lately.
Tell me honestly, do you like having me as your companion?
Why do you ask these questions all the time? Of course I do.
Great. I like your company too.
Okay, let's relax.
That sounds like a very good idea. I don't see any beds here that I would want to use. Is there somewhere else I can sleep?
Well, you can share the bed with me, or you can sleep on the floor. I don't have a bedroll.
While you sleep in a bed. That's just so typical.
We can sleep side by
At
side.
least make sure I have enough space to crawl into it. Goodbye.
Have you heard any word about the other provinces?
Is this where you want me to sleep?
Yes. Use your bedroll.
While you sleep.
Yes. I'm sorry, but that's just
Safe
how it's
travel.
going to have to be.
I have a message for you from the Grey Fox.
Who's this? Why is with all these people coming into this room? What message?
The Grey
Methridel.
Fox has a task for you. Meet him at Helvia's Cecia's house in Bruma.
Who?
So, the deed is done. How do I know this? You'll find that the Dark Brotherhood knows a great many things, for you are now part of the family.
Now what?
Now, you embrace your fate. For the slaying of Rufio is the signing of a covenant. The manner of execution, your signature, Rufio's blood, the ink. As a speaker of the Black Hand, I directly oversee a particular group of family members. You will join that group and fulfill any contracts given. You must now go to the city of Shadenhall, to the abandoned house near the eastern wall, enter the basement, and attempt to open the black door. You will be asked a question. Answer thusly. Sanguine, my brother. You will gain entrance to the sanctuary. Once inside, speak with Ochiva. We must now take our leave of each other, you and I, for there is much work to be done. I'll be following your progress. Welcome to the family.
I'm not sure if this is the family I want to be part of. Tell me about this covenant.
Know this. Every dark brother and sister is a child of Sithis.
As I
He
thought.
whom we call Sithis has many other names. Chaos, Doom, Discord. Sithis is the Void. We of the Dark Brotherhood serve the Night Mother, who is the bride of Sithis. The Night Mother rules her children with a terrible black hand. The Black Hand is the ruling body of the Dark Brotherhood. It is made up of one listener and 4 speakers. 4 fingers and a thumb, if you will. As a member of the Dark Brotherhood, you must abide by the 5 Tenants. They are the laws that guide and protect us.
The 5 Tenants. Tell me about them.
The 5 Tenets are as follows. Tenet 1. Never dishonor the Night Mother. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis. Tenet 2. Never betray the Dark Brotherhood or its secrets. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis. Tenet 3. Never disobey or refuse to carry out an order from a Dark Brotherhood superior. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis.
I see where this is going.
Tenet 4. Never steal the possessions of a dark brother or dark sister. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis. Tenet 5.
Wrath of Sithis. Yes, I know.
Kill a dark brother or dark sister. To do so is to invoke the wrath of Sithis.
Alright, well, I already have the Wrath of Maroon's Dagon on me. I don't see what the Wrath of Sithis is going to do to harm me. Who was this Rufio?
Rufio lies dead.
I know.
Well done. The family will now welcome you with open arms.
Tell me more about your Daedric Prince Sithis.
How does one best describe our dread father? Imagine a perfect, cloudless midnight, cold as winter ice and shrouded in shadow. That is Sithis.
Okay.
You are now one with the Dark Brotherhood. Visit Ochiva at the Shadenhall Sanctuary, and your new life will begin.
Just let me sleep. That orc is a heavy sleeper. Wrath of Sithis. Wrath of Sithis. I don't even know where Vilja is.
You look like a shrew.
Hello.
Everybody's going downstairs at once.
Hi there.
You know, I much preferred Metherdel
Please,
coming
go
and
ahead.
contacting me. Where are you, Vilja?
How are you?
You looked like Fergus for a moment.
How goes it? Hi there.
Where is Vilja?
I were in the Mages Guild.
I hope the Wrath of Sithis didn't take her. Actually, that would be very serious. I'm going to summon her. Strange that she's not here.
I really like your outfit. It matches your eyes so well.
Thank you. You're really flirting with me. Let's go.
Anytime.
How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
That's fine news.
I actually thought this was a
Bernadette
Khajiit.
Pinella seems like
Looked
a
like a
nice
tail
woman.
from the distance.
I know she works tirelessly over at the Tamika Vineyards.
Are you?
All things alchemical. Okay. Hello.
I hope I can help.
Let's see what you have.
You never know when you might need a good, strong potion.
Why
Best
do you
to
sell
stock up now while you
clothes? Interesting. Okay. No master apparatuses, huh? Okay, so Ginkgo Leaves. I know I've seen them for sale before. No, there's no Ginkgo Leaves. This might take a while, especially since they don't grow really. They really don't grow in Cyrodiil, so I don't feel like hunting down the rare
Goodbye.
trees that are supposed to be in the Gold Coast region. Like, there's supposed to maybe a handful out here. I am not looking for that. They have a white flower. And that's pretty much all I know. They don't... I haven't been hunting ingredients in Hammerfell, so...
It is nice to
Just
see
Cyrodiil and back in High
Good day
Rock.
to you. Yes?
Okay. So, yeah, we have to return to Raminus Polis.
Hurry up before I change. You look like a bright one.
But this is not the right way.
He thinks he's so much better than everyone else.
Mages Guild is right here. There you are.
Have you been to Skingrad and seen Count Hassildor?
I have your book. Anyways, have you heard about Hieronymus Lex?
He got reassigned. To Anvil, I think. Without him around, all this hustle and bustle about the Grey Fox will go away. I never believed in the Grey Fox anyway. I think the Imperium just made him up as an excuse to raise our taxes.
Did you say Imperium? I usually hear the Empire being called that, but I guess that's a proper name for it too. Alright, so I'm here about Janus Hassildor, Count Janus Hassildor, and his book. I have it.
Saved you, did he? Well, that's a good sign. I must apologize. It was never the Council's intention to put you in harm's way.
Why didn't you tell me the truth?
The Count's unique nature is not public knowledge. The Council wishes to keep it that way. At the time, it was believed that there was no reason to inform you, since it was not crucial to the task you were given. For that reason, I was unable to disclose more about his true identity to you. Clearly, that judgment was in error. I apologize.
Why was I sent to Skingrad?
Archmage Travin feared that sending a high-ranking official with the guild might draw too much attention and provoke a reaction from the Count. We were also concerned that it might drive any necromancers in the area underground, making them more difficult to root out.
I see.
We simply wanted to survey the situation in Skingrad. Our relationship with Hassildor is tenuous at best. The Council has agreed to keep his nature a secret, and in exchange, he occasionally provides us with useful information.
Why does Hasador aid you?
As a vampire, the Count has few allies he can trust. He has disguised his nature from most, but cannot hide it from the Council of Mages, so he approached us with an accord. As you have seen, that agreement is under a great deal of strain lately. The Count does not agree with certain policies the Guild has established.
You protect a vampire.
It's not quite that simple. Hassildor is powerful, to be sure, but the Council does not consider him to be a threat. After all, he has ruled over Skingrad for quite some time, without incident.
So you no longer trust him?
We feared Hassildor may have been involved with the necromancers. Thanks to your involvement, it would seem that he is not. At least, not for the moment.
Oh.
We will continue to monitor the situation, but I assure you, we will make no further attempts to mislead you.
So it was a test of him,
You
then.
have done your job admirably, and I thank you for it.
They could have still set that up. It would be easy to trick you with that. Okay, can I get an advancement?
Your services to the Guild have not gone unnoticed. As of this moment, you have gained the rank of Evoker.
Ah.
Along with your new rank, please take this amulet. May it help keep you safe.
That was
in
my
times
old
of
rank.
danger.
When I left. That was my old rank when I was in the Imperial Legion, the Evoker. You have any other tasks for me?
Are you ready for it? If not, I understand you've been through quite a bit lately.
I'm ready.
Very well. There's a research project going on at one of the Aliad ruin sites on the eastern side of the province. Irlav Jirol is in charge of the project and is apparently in need of some help. I thought you might need a break after the things you've been exposed to lately. You can find Irlav in the Archmage's Tower.
Can you tell me about Irlav?
He's a good man, but council matters have distracted him lately and he's been neglecting his other work.
So, can you tell me more? Can you tell me anything more about this task?
Speak with Irlav Jirol. He can give you the details you need.
All right. Heard any good rumors lately?
Archmage Traven is the first to take such a hard...
Okay.
Irlav should be waiting for you.
The King and Queen Tavern isn't a bad place to stay if you're visiting the city.
The Marylands say that they treat everyone like royalty at the
It's right
inn.
here. Oh, why am I going this way? There's only one thing that I want to do right now.
Hello, Master Wizard.
I hope I've given him
I
enough
used to
time to
notice
get
that
to
it takes-
where he should be.
You have the hands of a healer.
Okay, I'm also getting stuck. Why would they... Nice job, Wolfgang. Is it raining out there again? For a very dry area, it seems to rain here a lot. Well, it is the winter time. Okay, now. We've got to find him. I don't want to bring Fergus into this because we're in the city and he might start killing cats. I don't know if he'll even dress the same.
Anytime now.
Where is Hieronymus Lex?
I ran across a
I plan to kill him now. That whoreson deserves it. Actually, quite angry thinking about why he deserves it.
Have to be a member of the Fighters Guild to train.
I've eaten many meals there, and I've always been satisfied.
Maybe he'll be in and around Castle Anvil. Now, apparently I have a fence in Castle Anvil, which doesn't quite sound right, but...
You know, I think that wizards have a very silly sense of humor. Frankly, they are rather cruel people.
Who?
Aren't they?
Who has a silly sense of humor, but they're actually rather cruel? Wait, I gotta look at all the guards. Hey,
We're always on duty.
so you say. Do you happen to know where Hieronymus Lex is?
He's our new captain. I've never met a finer man. Take care.
I didn't actually expect him to be a captain, but that actually does make sense if he's gonna be going to a new place. I have to look for him. Maybe I'll sneak in at night and kill him, Dark Brotherhood style, while he's sleeping. But I am determined to do it. Well, I was just here a little while ago, sneaking around. Hello, my lady.
You look like someone who's comfortable in heavy armor.
Wow, you actually are the most beautiful of all the countesses I've come across in all of Cyrodiil.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so, Well, you heard any good rumors lately?
The Doomstones are a mystery. Are they traces of the mythic times? Or creations of ancient beast folk? Or lost races of mer or men? Farewell.
I'm actually royalty, technically. Well, I used to be. Wouldn't that place me above her? I mean, my brother's a count now, but I wasn't lying to be a king. I was a prince. I actually have no idea where I can find this Hieronymus Lex. Yes, I've been basically, essentially stripped of my titles, so I'm no longer royalty. I have no titles at all other than, well, Grand Champion, I guess, and Blade, and Evoker in the Mages Guild. I don't even know what my title is in the Fighters Guild. Or really, oh yes, and aren't I a cut purse in the Thieves Guild? And I have no idea what they'll call me. Dark Brotherhood. Bloody Murderer? Ah, interesting. Forge. Hello.
I see you work with the Grey Fox.
Ah. Are you my fence?
You always bring in good business.
You are my fence. You know, I have just one thing to sell you. I might as well. I mean, it's not really worth very much, but... Well, he likes me a lot. Let's see if I can't get a better value for everything I come here to fence.
Don't try to cheat me, you...
Okay.
Don't try to cheat me, you misbegotten whelp.
Misbegotten whelp, huh? How about this?
Sure, why not? I might even be able to ransom it back to the original owner.
Well, you sell a lot. What's this followers of the Grey Fox? That looks interesting, actually. You sell a lot of lockpicks.
Act casual. Like we haven't done anything illegal.
Well, okay, yes, but you know where Hieronymus Lex is?
He's the captain of the guard in Anvil now.
I know.
He used to be in the Imperial Watch until Countess Umbranox had him reassigned. He made things very difficult for the Thieves Guild for a while. I heard you were the one that made it all happen.
Yes.
Everyone in the Thieves Guild is grateful.
Well, I don't know why you'd be happy he'd be coming to your city, though, but... Okay. Goodbye.
Shadow hide you.
Shadow hide you.
They say that the black horses are the fastest, but I always prefer the white ones. They're stronger, I think.
Yes. If I actually do... Ooh, some wine. Oh, it's not like the Count Hassildor of Skingrad's wine. This is cheaper stuff. He had some really nice vintages there. I don't know where I can find Hieronymus Lex. I can keep asking, but the Countess doesn't even know where he is. Hello.
Duty calls.
You're a funny-looking one. Do you happen to know where Hieronymus Lex is? He says no. They apparently do not... Maybe if I found the barracks? It's the jailer's room. Which makes me... Okay, so yes, I have to look for the barracks. Makes me think. The barracks might be down this way. Well, I can't kill him with guards all over the place. That's the same thing that happened last time. Or try to kill him. Oh, this reminds me of the Shadenhill guard barracks. 4 guards sleeping. He's not here. Well, I can wander the city and hope to find him. Well, this is definitely not where I want to go either. Where is that fool? I guess we keep looking. I found him. I found him? I found him. Well, he doesn't seem to know me.
I think it's good to see new stores springing up in Cyrodiil, which also cater for the female figure. However, I've yet to see a good Daedric corset.
What?
I suppose I have a moment.
Oh,
what is it?
Daedric corset. Well, he must have gone in here. I'm not wearing the proper attire for this. I've got to keep following him. There he is. There's another guard there. I can't walk in front of that guard. Okay.
Look at the muscles on you.
That was dangerous. It looked like he was coming near us. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna have to plan this better because I don't want a repeat of what happened last time. So perhaps if we go at night. I can't follow him where he was. There was a guard right there. I would have been spotted immediately. Plus he was coming back.
Good afternoon.
So there's literally nothing I could have done unless I want to take on the entire castle. But I wasn't spotted that time. Alright then. Well, we'll have to return at another time. Maybe I should go see the Grey Fox first. Perhaps we can discuss how to get rid of him permanently. But for now, okay, so the Mages Guild. Oh, I must have work for the Fighters Guild. They must have told me to do something. I'm supposed to return to the Imperial City Arena at some point. Armor. Clavicus Vial. Yes, I know about the blunt training of Vilja. I don't think I have... Maybe I'm supposed to go to Shadenhall for more work? For the Fighters Guild? That's where I got my first job, wasn't it? Anyways, we'll deal with that another time. Right now, I have to do something important.
We are having a great time together, aren't we?
I always have a great time with you, Vilja. Let's go to Breville. No. What is wrong with me? Okay. No, I meant Coral. Not Breville. Now that we are in Coral, perhaps I should rest for the night. Oh, there's so many people here. You know what? We'll rest and we'll leave early. We are to go, finally, to Sancrator. It's actually quite impressive, young Dunmer. So, we'll just relax here for a while.
Tell me honestly, which do you prefer? Dark hair or blonde?
Actually, I would prefer whichever way you came. But I like how you look. My sister was redhead. My mother, too. I think even my grandmother was. All on my mother's side. Okay, blonde hair, of course.
You do know that most blonde girls have had their hair dyed, don't you? It's because everyone wants to be blonde. There are not so many natural blondes, of course.
Your hair
However,
is so blonde it's white.
I am one of them.
Alright, let's relax.
Sure. You will stay here too, won't you?
Well, it's my home, so yes. I do like my room. Very much so. I need some more... Oh, there's lights up above. There's the windows. There's a little candle in the corner, but I can still use more lights around the room. Alright, so I have placed all the books that I don't need in here, in my drawer. I could probably place this Goblin Amulet. I have no idea if I'll ever need that. But at least I'm not throwing it out. Ah, yes, the Shadow Banish wine. I've been wanting to try this. Spell Drinker Amulet. Spell Absorption. I must have just gotten this. What amulet am I wearing? Acrobat's amulet. Which really isn't that important compared to absorbing spells. I think that's better. I wish it also had allowed me to resist magic. But spell absorption is... Yeah, I don't need to move this fast. I already move so fast it's ridiculous. Spell Drinker Amulet it will be. Now, as to that wine... Shadow Banish wine. Oh. It's got a very exotic taste to it. I like it, actually. It's a little bit more sour than I thought it would be, but I don't mind that. Oh, it's good. It's good wine. Well, I only have one left. Maybe I'll save it. Maybe when I become a god or marry Vilja or something, I'll open it up. Oh, it's good, and I feel a little drunk now. Okay, well... Best place to be drunk is your own home, I suppose, instead of making a fool of yourself in the inn. It's very potent stuff. It must have a high alcohol percentage in there. So, yes, the books. Who reads when they've been drinking? I've done it a few times. But typically it's, you know, not something you do that. It's a social thing, of course, but I hear some people walk off being drunk. And if you see them walking a lot, especially in the mornings, they've been drinking a lot. Now, as for books, I'm looking at my spells. Let's see. Well, I have this one book I picked up from somebody's backyard in Leowin, and it's a book Cosmology. It's quite short. Istunion's Cosmology. What kind of name is that? Translation by Bothiel of the Mages Guild. What are planets? The planets are the gods and the planes of the gods, which is the same thing. That they appear as spherical heavenly bodies is a visual phenomena caused by mortal mental stress, since each planet is an infinite mass of infinite size. What the hell are you talking about? Everything is not of infinite sea. As yet surrounded by the void of oblivion, the mortal eye registers them as bubbles within a space. Planets are magical and impossible. The 8 planets correspond to the 8 divines. They are all present on the Dwarven orrery. Well, that part is right, but they're not of infinite size. Along with the mortal planet Nirn. What is Nirn? Nirn Enofex for arena. I've always hated that. Our world is not called arena. Is that what the Dwemer used to call it? No, it's a finite ball of matter and magic made from all of the god planets at the beginning of time. Yes, so I heard. It's all mashed into one. When Lorcan Trick convinced the gods to create the mortal plane, Nern is the mortal plane and the mortal plane, which is the same thing. No, I misread that. Mortal planet and mortal plane. Its creation upset the cosmic balance. Now all souls, especially the Aedra Daedra gods demons, have a vested interest in Nern, especially its starry heart, Tamriel. What are moons? Small planets, insofar as one infinite mass of infinite size can be smaller than another. Infinity means forever, by the way. Stop saying planets are infinite. Finite is... yes, well, that means they have some sort of restriction in size at some point, which means they don't go on forever, but saying infinite means they do. Planets do have orbits, or at least lunar orbits are perceived to happen by mortals. Moons, this is hard for me to follow because my addled head. That brain is very strong. Moons are regarded by various cultures as attendant spirits of their god planet or minor gods, or foreign gods. Yeah, I'm kind of lost. The moons of Nern are Master and Secunda. Yes, everybody knows that. Moons are not represented in the Dwarven orrery. What are Master and Secunda? Master and Secunda, Joan and Jode, in the Elnoflex, the moons of Nern, are the attendant spirits of the mortal plane. They are like the mortal plane in that they are temporal and subject to the bounds of mortality. In fact of this, the moons are dead and died long ago. The moons used to be pure white and featureless, but today their skin is decaying and withering away. Their planes are likewise dying. Mortals perceive this as the moons being spheres with patches of their surfaces completely eaten away as the moons spin. They seem to become slivers or ragged crescents. These are not caused by shadows, because you can see the stars through the black patches of the lunar spheres. I don't know if that is true. That is very strange. What is space? Space is the interpretation of oblivion, which is black and empty and surrounds the mortal plane. Space is infinite. Okay, well, as far as we know, it is. But it acts just like a planet, in that oblivion is surrounded by Aetherius. You can see Aetherius by the stars. What are stars? The stars are the bridges to Aetherius, the magic plane. They are perceived as holes on the inside surface of space. Because they are on the inside of a sphere, all stars are equidistant from Nern. Of equal distance from Nern? Okay. Yes, I think I remember reading that a long time ago. Larger stars, therefore, are not closer to the mortal plane, they are just larger tears in oblivion. Ah. The largest tear in oblivion is Magnus, the sun. Well, everybody knows that. What are shooting stars, then? A misnomer. Shooting stars are bits of matter and magic, either from oblivion or Aetherius, that sometimes move through the cosmos. The largest shooting stars are really planets with independent orbits, like Bandar, the rogue plane. What are constellations? Constellations are collections of stars. Since each star is a bridge to magic, constellations are very powerful phenomena and are revered. There are generally accepted to be 13 constellations, and 9 of these are made up completely of stars. 3 others are called guardian constellations, as they are each governed by a dominion planet. The dominion planets are Akatosh, Eye of the Warrior, Julianos, Eye of the Sage, and Arche, Eye of the Thief. The last constellation is made up of unstars and is called the Snake. What is the sun? Magnus is the sun, the largest hole in oblivion, and the gateway to magic. Magnus was present in the creation of the mortal plane, and in fact was its architect. Lorcan was its advocate and inspiration. Prehistoric, before Merethic era 2500, the start year, yes, that's the start of all known times, but even in the Merethic era it was a little fuzzy. Actually quite fuzzy. Nern was a magical place and highly unstable to the first mortals. Magnus then left, some say, in disgust, and oblivion filled in the void with the void. Well, that's weird. His escape was not easy, and tatters of Magnus remain in the firmament as stars. What is the sky? the sky is another visual phenomenon caused by mortal mental stress. The night sky in particular, the sky is as impossible as planets in essence. When you look into the sky, you look outside the material plane. At night, Nirn is surrounded by oblivion. Wouldn't it be surrounded by oblivion at day, too? The day sky is the multicolored elemental cloak of Magnus the Sun. It changes colors as elemental influences rise and fall. Thus, when one looks at the day sky, they see into the raiments of Aetherius and stare at its magic. How was the universe created? Those phenomena of the spirit realm and that inhabitants of Nirn interpreted as a universe came into being during the Dawn Era. It was created through magic and myth, and this process is interpreted in a variety of ways too numerous to mention here. These myths can be accessed elsewhere. Yes, I even read a book about, I think I need to go to bed. Well, it's like drinking 3 wine bottles in one. That's a nice sleep, and then we'll get up in the morning. Yes. And then it'll be time to go to Skingrad. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.